Welcome to another segment of Patch It. Today we're going to be delving into this modular that we see here in front of us. If you haven't seen the Patch It segment before, basically what we do is kind of an improvisational patching on a large-scale modular system. This one happens to be 9U right here in front of us, 3 rows of 104 HP. All kinds of different modules in here, envelopes, VCOs, LFOs, etc., etc. You may see some cables that are already set up. These 4 black ones over here on the VCA matrix, one on the Sound of Shadows and one on the mixer. Our task at hand basically is to go in and fill the mixer, put in a little bit of sound into the Sound of Shadows. I chose that subjectively just because that's one of my favorite things is delays. And then over here on the far right, we're going to fill up these inputs. We're going to try and do as many of the inputs here in the little modulation matrix as possible. But we'll go for about maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll kind of pause, go into the next segment or episode of Patch It, and then we'll just keep building the patch until we're done. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and start patching. So I definitely want to start with a VCO of some sort, but I want to clock it and get some notes going over there. So I'm going to use my Moskwa over here. I'm going to take the CV out, and I'm just going to go, let's go right into the audio frequency generator. We don't hear much from good old AFG. And then we're going to take the AFG and then just fire it over to our Optomix right over here. Just going to go and input 1 up there. And then I'm going to also take the gate out from the Moskwa right here, and then go into maths. There we are. And then we're going to take channel 1 of maths and go over into the Optomix. Now we just need to get that output down to one of our mixers. So let's get the output right there, output 1. Once we get some sound, it should be a little more interesting. Let me move this up a little bit. Okay, now we have a nice little sound just starting out. Now, I'm going to also start using this switch, so I'm going to start a clock. I'm going to actually use the Zorlong Cannon clock down here. I'm going to set it kind of slow. And a little bit later I'll tell you why, because we're going to put multiple inputs into this switch. So I want it to switch, but I want it to switch slow. There we go. And let me make sure all 4 steps are in there. There we go. All right, now let's take the alien saws and let's actually go, well, let's go into one of our inputs of our switch. And then I'm going to take an output from that. We get a few more cables. Alien saws into switch. I'm going to take the output of the switch. I'm going to go down into my mixer down here. It should be pretty harsh. There we go. Now, I'm going to also take, let's see, let's do the animated pulses. And then I'm going to go over here into the algorithm, just for the heck of it. And then I'm going to take the output from the algorithm. And I'm going to go over into number 3 input of my switch. Just kind of separate them a little. Now we got kind of a changing little timbre going on. I kind of like that, so what I want to do is take that main VCO that I'm playing with, and let me take the triangle out and go down into my delay, bring the input down just a little bit. Now let me play with the signal over here. Maybe a little more feedback. Just the rate a little. Let me bring the input up a little bit. Liking that so far. Okay, now why don't I take one of the random gates from good old Zorlon Cannon and then bring it up into the maths. Should be getting a second envelope being triggered. This one's going to be going a little bit slower than the last one. But you can see the light up there indicating the speed or the rate. So now with that gate going up there, I'm going to take the output and I'm going to go into the second input of the Optimix with that envelope. I think I already have an idea of what kind of sound source I want to put in there.